Hi guys, welcome. I'm going to start without my presentation. My computer suddenly doesn't like the screen, so I don't know what's happening there. Okay, first of all, I want to know how many of you are already doing eclectic homeschooling at this stage? Okay, quite a few of you, right. And who of you have started with Cambridge? Not yet, so that's something that you guys are wondering about and if you should be doing it or not. Okay. All right, so the first thing is, I don't know if you know, but we do have a Facebook group, or I have a Facebook group specifically for homeschoolers. If you want to go the British curriculum route, especially if you want to go the eclectic way. All right, so you guys can join us. Hopefully you can fix it, otherwise you can just come to the stall and I'll give you the link, then you can join us there. All right, so I get very interesting questions when people start joining us, and there's a big misconception on how Cambridge works or edXL. And the first thing is that I get questions on what textbooks to use, what service provider to use, things like that, which actually just shows that you're coming from a school mindset, and luckily a lot of you are already doing eclectic homeschooling, so the change shouldn't be so bad. It shouldn't be so difficult for you guys to do, because if you know where you're going, then you already know how to work out your lesson plans. You already know how to make learning fun. It's just, all that's changing is you have a certain set of goals that you want to reach. Okay, so I grew up in the UK, and when I came to South Africa, the school system really put me off, and it's actually the main reason why I started homeschooling, because I just thought, I'm never going to let my kids go through that. And I just want to quickly explain how I went to school, right? So first of all, Cambridge and edXL, they're just service providers or curriculum providers and exam boards, right? They all need to conform to a set of rules set by Ofqual in the UK. So the UK sets up a list of things that the kids need to know, and it's universal. Now, whether you go Cambridge or edXL or AQA, it just depends on what brand you like, right? But you don't need to use them. Okay, this is the interesting thing. You don't really need to use their materials or their curriculum. You, as an eclectic homeschooler, can design your own curriculum. Now, there's a difference between curriculum and syllabus. Syllabus is a list of things that you need to know. Curriculum is how you're going to do it. Now, that syllabus is quite fixed. And edXL, Cambridge, they all need to conform to that list because it's been determined by the UK government. Okay. How you approach it is up to you. Do you want to use a service provider? Do you want to use their resources, or do you want to do your own thing? Now, because I grew up, okay, so the schooling I had in the primary school it was very project-based, very student-based. We didn't have textbooks. I never wrote a test. The first test I wrote was in South Africa, not in the UK. We went on trips. We had themes, okay? So instead of having an English lesson, we went on an outing. We went to go and see some history place, and we made stuff there. We learned how to make butter. We learned how to make clothes. We came back home, and then we had to write a story and pretend we're somebody from that era. We weren't marked on our grammar or our spelling. We were encouraged to write and be creative. And to make it more interesting, we had to make our own books. We had to sew. We had to get pages, sew them, design a cover, design illustrations. That's what we did. For maths, at the age of 10, I learned trigonometry, right? So we went outside. I had to work out the height of a tree. And so what I had to do is I had to walk from the tree, measure the distance, and then we measured the angle to look at the top of the tree, and then we could work out the tree. Or if I had to learn about biology, we had a wonderful garden there. I said, okay, go in there, go and collect leaves, go and collect berries and stuff, and then you start analyzing what you see, and then we will classify the plants according to that. Okay, so that is more the approach that needs to be taken if you want to go the Cambridge route or the EdXL route. The Cambridge and EdXL, they're just a medium where you can write your exams. So the big thing is, we are very familiar with this is back up. Now I can feel a bit more grounded. Thank you, thank you. All right, okay, you'll see it like this. Okay, so you're going to, okay, let me go back. All right, so I lost my train of thought here, sorry. All right, okay, so the exam boards are there. You have to think of them as getting your driver's license, okay? How you get your driver's license is up to you, but there are a set of rules, right? And you still go at the end. You don't go to school while you're learning. Your dad teaches you, or your mom teaches you, and you practice for a year. And then you go to rounding off, and then it's, okay, when you stand outside the car, you must look at the wheels, you must walk around, and there's a set of rules. And you practice those rules, and then you write the exam. And this is how these exams work. Okay, how you get to the list of things is up to you. You don't need to have a report. You can write whenever you want to. Okay, so you can determine the pace of your children. You can determine the themes that you want to cover. All right, does this make sense? Okay, so why do I have this picture? It's not mash and peas, it's ice cream and peas. Okay, I asked Jen Kummer, she's someone I met, we've befriended on Facebook, and we're sort of saying, where were you 5 years ago? Because, you know, I was fine doing the sciences, but I really struggled with English, and she was really strong with the English, but she struggled with the sciences. And if we could help each other, we would have done really, really well together, right? And I told her, we have a culture in South Africa that's quite performance-driven, right? The kids, they get marks, they get certain percentages. So by the way, in your reports, you wouldn't get, you wouldn't get 97%. You would either get an A or a B, but also only later on. You would definitely not write exams in grade 6, for example. Definitely not. So definitely for the primary school years, don't worry about tests and exams. It's irrelevant. Anyway, so I asked her, you know, I'm really struggling to convey the message across about having a different mindset. It's very difficult to get a different mindset if your schooling is what you're used to, and to change your approach, to change your thinking, and not get stressed. Most people who join the group who want to do Cambridge really want to give their kids a good education, right? You don't want to just flap around and do any fun project. You want to make sure that they can get to university and they have opportunities wherever they go. But that fear then puts you back into school mode again. And then what happens is you make Cambridge a CAPS curriculum, but it was never designed to be like that. Okay, so when you buy the books, you approach it because now you're thinking, oh, this must be like school. And that's a big problem. So, yeah, so I told her, you know, how are we going to explain this? I said, well, okay, she said, you know, it's like putting peas inside a chocolate muffin. So I tried with AI. This is AI, just so by the way, AI generated pictures, right? But it refused to make a muffin with peas inside them. So I asked it to make peas with ice cream, and that it accepted. Okay. So what do I mean by that is, when we have a cap on mindset, then we focus on, oh, now we must learn about nouns. Now we must learn how to add and subtract, and we focus on the facts, the boring facts, and then it kills you, right? And the kids get bored, and you get bored. And it's actually not the way that the kids are supposed to learn. You are supposed to be sneaky. You must mix the peas in the ice cream. They think they're eating ice cream. Meantime, you're putting in the peas in between. Okay, so instead of saying we're going to learn about nouns, say your child is interested about AI. You guys are Eclectic Homeschoolers, you know, right? Then you have a project on that. But in the back of your head, you have that list, that syllabus, and you're ticking it off as you're going, and you're going through the work and exploring. And then you can say, okay, let's focus a bit on, put in some maths and some sciences together and mix it together. Okay, so nothing's really changed. It's all that's happening now is you have a syllabus in the back of your mind, and you have an end destination of where you're going to go. the route you're taking, you can have a lot of detours and scenic routes in between. So what I did was, I'm just going to, this is what I did with my kids. I like art, so I combine art and sciences with my kids. So I just want you can just quickly go a page through it and see. We learned stuff, but we did art projects with it as well. Now, I had 4 kids, and I have all of different ages. And now, so we had one theme, and they each, you challenge them according to their levels. All right. Okay. Right. So, okay, I've got 10 minutes, so I'm going to go and be practical about this now. Okay. So, you have the syllabus and the curriculum. The syllabus. Must I stand here? Okay, is that better? Sorry. Okay. Now, the syllabus is a list of things that the students need to know. The curriculum is how you're going to do it. You can use a service provider. And to be honest, I tried to do everything and I couldn't. So you are going to need to get help somewhere. You aren't superwoman, even though we try to. But I would recommend when your kids are young to work together as friends and say, I'm very good with this, or I have no idea about this, but I'm going to spend my time becoming an expert on this, and you become an expert on that, and we get together and we work on projects together. It's a great way for the kids to get to know each other, build relationships, and you learn creativity from each other. So my one friend, she loved sport. So she would combine sport with the themes that we learned. And another friend of mine loved drama. So all the animals that we learned about, the mollusks and stuff, was always going to be a drama story. Okay, so this is just to open your minds about mixing facts with fun. And the more fun it is, the more your kids will want to learn. All right. And this actually reminds me of two universities. My one daughter is at UCT, and she's studying medicine. So by the way, so she homeschooled and got in with Cambridge. So it is possible. And she said what they do is they have a scenario. They say there's a family, and this child is not feeling well here and here and here. And then they have to say what they think they're going to learn about. And then the subjects are all integrated and it's focused on what they're going to learn about. So this is, even the universities are doing that. And then if you have a look at MIT, Esme went there for a year, and she said the big difference between MIT and Tux is that MIT is process-driven. And when you want to prepare for these exams, you need to focus on children thinking and their logic reasoning, not necessarily getting the correct answer. If you look at the exam papers, you're not marked according to correct answers, but according to your logic reasoning. And that's the big thing that you guys need to focus on, is when you do a project with the themes in mind, it's not getting the right pictures or getting the right sums correct. It's what do you think? How did you get there? Please explain yourself. And this is why project-based learning is so effective, because the stress of getting a good mark is taken away. So Esme said, even with the practicals were completely different. Even if they got it completely wrong, if they attempted it, could figure out why they got something wrong, they still got full marks, which is totally different to what happened at Tucky's. Tucky's was you had to get this result, and if you don't get it, it's a problem. And so, thank you, okay, running out of time. So you have to, focus on process thinking. Okay, I quickly want to show you just how cool learning is these days. Okay, so on the website, on my Facebook page, you're going to get links. You're going to see the green is what your children need to know. You can get it from the UK syllabus, or you can get it from Cambridge, the high school, or from edXL. That is what they need to learn. The how is up to you. But there's something that has changed homeschooling forever, and this is called ChatGPT. Who has used it yet? Start using it. Let me show you how cool this is. Okay. All right. All right, so when the kids do physics, they need to learn about atoms, right? And you have 4 kids of different ages. And now, how the heck are you going to teach an 11-year-old about atoms? You ask ChatGPT. You say, work out a lesson plan for 11-year-olds on atoms. And then it spits the whole lesson out for you. So you go, you get the piece, and then you ask ChatGPT to add some ice cream to it. Okay? And this is really nice. You are very lucky. It took me hours to prepare the lessons. Now you can put this in ChatGPT, and it will give you a lesson plan, and you can add resources to it. Right? So I highly recommend that you guys use this. And then you can change the age. You can make it more interesting. You know, it's like a human being. Jen says she feels she needs to say please and thank you when she speaks to ChatGPT, just in case he turns on her. Okay, so we use it for English as well. It's a great way of preparing lessons, and so I'm really jealous of you guys that you have this, because we worked really hard to work out a lesson plan. So the other thing is, on the other resources is BBC Bite Size. The links it's on the, if you look on Saintsburg Facebook page, you will get the links there. Is it up yet, or don't you know? As soon as I'm done, it will be up. So if you go into Facebook, just search for Saintsburg, then you will see this picture here and a lot of links at the bottom. Start using that. And I think the big thing is, you've been using American-based resources. Start using UK-based resources. In principle, UK is focused on child-led education, is focused on theme-based education. So the themes are more in line with what the kids need to know. If you start there, your life is going to be much easier. So that's a big difference, is to not use too much American-based stuff. But yeah, that's it. Okay. Let me just see here. Okay. I see that we have 1 or 2 minutes still left. I just quickly want to show you the websites. But once again, if you go onto Facebook, you will get it. But this is BBC. You can just click on the level and then on the subject you want, and then they've got lots of ideas. And any of those ideas you can use. So all of the subjects are here, and this is a good foundation for high school. All right. Then if you feel you need more structure, then you can use Oak National. It's also free. And I've worked out lessons, and the nice thing is they also help you work out your own curriculum. Okay, so if you click on here, then you can develop your curriculum with a UK base, and if you click on classroom, then you have worked out lessons as well that you can use as a basis to work from. All right. Any questions? I only have 1 minute left. Otherwise, if you want to talk to me about homeschooling in general and have more questions on this, please, you can come and ask me there. And then also join the Facebook group. If you ask questions there, we will help you there. The idea is to approach with an eclectic style of homeschooling. Thank you, guys.